What up gamers, SirMav here, and today we're going to have a heart-to-heart discussion about the new combat system after the Hero Starfighters update. But first, if you haven't noticed yesterday, DICE ordered a kill switch on Emperor Palpatine, thus removing him from the game. If you haven't played since the patch, well then you were lucky enough not to have felt the rain of lightning stagger, ability dodges, and overall experience of broken Palpatine. So let's jump into what I feel is wrong with Emperor Palpatine and a couple of fixes that could be implemented for balanced play. So when me and Flowerchild first jumped into Heroes vs. Villains the first day and came up against Palpatine, we noticed Rey was no longer her former self and that our health would deplete at an excruciating rate against Emperor Palpatine. One-on-one, which just never really happened before. The most you had to deal with was his agile dash when it was difficult to get a beat on him. Luckily I had planned on doing this video before the removal of Emperor Palpatine, and I was able to record some gameplay of his lightning attack in arcade, so I took the testing the other day to see what was up. If you remember back in the Han Solo patch, they made a change in the targeting angle that Palpatine's dual lighting could lock onto its target. Well, likely there was either a mess up on this somewhere because I don't think this is how the mechanic is supposed to work. So in this custom arcade, I increased the health of the AI to tough so you could see just how quick you could still annihilate a buffed enemy rebel, and so I also had more time to show what seems to be an improper mechanic. So in this video you should see once you lock onto a target you can literally pull to either the left or the right to almost a full 45 degrees over while still shocking your target. I've even seen it to where I didn't have to look at an enemy and Palpatine still locks onto them. For a ranged hero this shouldn't be a thing, and with his extended reach card this allows him to continuously shock his foe from a distance that is difficult to counter whether you're a lightsaber hero or another trooper. On top of this, it seems that the locking system doesn't quite differentiate between targets. If you look at this clip here, you'll see that after shocking the first trooper in front, that the stagger effect seems to transfer over to the back troopers. This is not chain strike, as you can see it's still in cooldown. Now either this is a bug or it's an actual mechanic, but if it is, why? This is exactly why you see Palpatine getting anywhere from 80 plus kills against players in Galactic Assault. There's always a choke point somewhere within the map, and with other players grouped up, Palpatine simply obliterates them, or either staggers them enough for the teammates to come in and take over the objective. Let alone his agility makes him the fastest hero on both the light and the dark side, dodging around without using a dash ability like Yoda or Darth Maul. So what can DICE do to make Palpatine balanced? Well, my suggestions would be, and this is entirely my opinion based on what I've seen, first, the devs could reduce the distance of lightning reach. Although he's supposed to be a ranged attacker, the distance he can reach keeps him far out of harm's way, especially around choke points within the map. Although I have still seen issues where around doorways sometimes his lightning attack won't lock on properly. Second, fix the bug or ability causing Palpatine to stagger more than one enemy with his main attack. This should be set for an ability like Chain Strike so that whoever plays Palpatine has to use his abilities strategically. And last, reduce the target angle for Palpatine's dual shock to lock onto his enemies. I'd say adjusting this to about a 5-degree mark, which is half of what it's supposed to be currently, would be a good start. Playing any hero should require skill and experience to dominate in battle. Being able to lock onto an enemy without having to aim at all makes a poor balance in a PvP game. Don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of work and time to balance a game, and I have much respect for the devs in doing what they do, but from a AAA developer they should have the resources and the testers to ensure balance within this game, and make sure that imbalances like this don't occur within the client-side part of the game. Hopefully they can bring back Palpatine with the proper fix he needs to be competitive against other heroes and be strong in Assault, but not the main pick in every match. So if you watched my last video update in Star Wars or read the patch notes for Hero Starfighters update, then you'll know that stamina has changed for the lightsaber heroes. So here's the defined patch notes for stamina again. Added a stamina cost to triggering block. So as you'll see in the video, triggering block takes up more stamina now than simply just holding it. It takes up about 4 bars on the circle. Added a constant stamina cost to holding block, so no longer can block be held for an unlimited amount of time when not taking fire. They also added a delay before stamina regens after a lightsaber attack or block, so the cooldown time is dependent upon the hero, of course. So I don't really have a problem with this mechanic being added to the game. It makes the player think more strategically in their approach as a hero so you can learn how stamina affects their play. The problem that's occurred with this is it inadvertently buffed some heroes in the process and nerfed the lightsaber heroes all around, except Darth Maul. He's still a badass apparently. He's probably also broken, which we'll get into here in a bit. So on the screen I've laid out the initial health, the cooldown time, and number of strikes a hero can do before completely draining their stamina. I've also included the number of strikes they can do while using a card that decreases the cost of using their stamina. So for Luke, he has 750 health. He can do about 10 strikes with no stamina card and about 11 strikes with his Jedi Fighter card. And he has a 4-second cooldown once you completely redded out his circle. Now Rey, she has the same health at 750. She does 12 strikes with the no stamina card, and she does 14 strikes with the Street Fighter card, and she also has a 4-second cooldown. But with her Insight ability, it allows her to have unlimited stamina for as long as this ability's duration is going on. Then you have Yoda. He has about 700 health, but he can heal himself up to 900 with his Presence ability. He has 10 strikes with no stamina card, and he can do up to 12 strikes with his Lightsaber Mastery card, and about a 3-second cooldown. And this is likely because he can't block lightsaber heroes, but he can deflect or absorb blaster hit. Then we move on to the dark side, where you have Darth Vader with initial 850 health. With another card, you can boost that up 100 to 950 health, but also with his Focus Rage ability, you can boost that up to 1100 health. He does about 7 strikes before his stamina depletes. That's mainly because he's more efficient at deflecting blaster shots than actual lightsaber hits. And it also takes a long time for his cooldown to go through, as he has a 6-second cooldown plus the delay. But just like Rey's Insight ability, he can use his Focus Rate ability, and during the duration of that ability, he also has unlimited stamina for that duration of time. And then you have the striker Kylo Ren. He has 750 health. He can do about 13 strikes with no stamina card and 16 strikes with his Berserking Tantrum, but they don't do as much damage as, say, Darth Vader. And plus he has a quick cooldown at 3 seconds. And then you have the ticker. You have Darth Maul, who of course can't block. He has 700 health, but he has unlimited stamina. But he has a stamina card which reduces stamina by 12%, which is called the Frantic Strike stamina card. And he has no cooldown because there's no stamina. So with that, Darth Maul has to be broken too, and I'm trying to remember if he ever had a stamina drain. I went back into my older recordings, and for the life of me, I couldn't find any footage of him having any stamina drain on strikes. So has this been broken all along? He has a stamina drain decrease card called Frantic Strike, so this tells me the devs never intentionally meant for him to have unlimited stamina. But he does, and he's wrecking house against other heroes. Even with lower health, he simply just has to swing till their stamina is depleted from blocking, and then he obliterates them. So simple fix for him would be to add a stamina drain. Not sure why this wasn't there before. Or if it was, why it was ever removed. So before I get into the next part of the reason the stamina cost has become an issue, especially for heroes in Galactic Assault, is that for each lightsaber block or blaster hit, these stack on top of each other. So a hero simply has little chance in a choke point against 5 or so other players firing at them. They can block for a time, but their stamina will deplete quickly, unless you're Darth Vader or Luke and have your deflection card equipped. Those two will give you more time, as these heroes are meant to have a specialty against blasters. So last, let's talk about Iden. So my issue with Iden is not that she's completely broken or overpowered, but that due to the stamina cost on block, she can now take down heroes at a faster pace. Plus, I don't think this was intentional, but she can almost simultaneously fire a TL50 primary and secondary fire at the same time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I play on Xbox, so I use the right trigger to fire her TL50 and the left trigger to fire her secondary fire on the TL50. Now, secondary fire has a cooldown, but does more damage to an area. The problem I have is I can hold down both triggers at the same time, which allows me to fire the secondary fire at an enemy and immediately keep firing with my primary fire. I will continue to hold down the left trigger so that once my cooldown is complete, my secondary fire will automatically fire on the target. Now this still takes some skill, but I still feel this is imbalanced, as you should have to hold down one or the other, that way skill is involved in the interaction. Basically, I can spam both firing function on an enemy, plus if they're shocked, they have little chance of defending themselves. So although I'm focused on the negatives here, I still like a lot of the things they brought with this patch. I just believe there is more balancing that needs to take place. Hopefully the devs can come up with the proper fix in ample time for Emperor Palpatine and the other issues within the game. But let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think they can properly balance the heroes in a timely manner? How are you enjoying the new Hero Starfighters mode? Let me know down in the comments below. With that, if you enjoyed this video, then give us a like and subscribe for future gaming content and updates. Let us know down in the comments section what future videos you would like to see and any other questions you may have. Till next time, gamers, this is Sir Math, signing off.